Joe Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at the next figure that was included with the Dragonfly HasLab Night Force Ripcord, which, by the way, Ripcord being two words, I won't say is new to me, but is not part of my memory. Side of the box, we've got part of the mural. Back of the box, got something a little different. Just a nice big image of the character. And then on the side, we've got the specialties, that same image in a different format. And let's get it opened up and check it out. No tape on this one, which is nice. Since it's not a retail release, there is no reason for it. If you didn't watch my review of the Dragonfly, go check it out. Well, the Dragonfly and Wild Bill, because to me, they have to go together. I love it. It's great. Wild Bill is solid. I do have some reservations about the portraits on the figures that were included with the Dragonfly. A nice little backdrop there. They seem to be finished differently from most of the rest of the classified figures. Oh, wow, that's nice. And ooh, what do we got here? Look at that. Well, a nice functional backpack. I did not buy the Paratrooper, so I don't even know if this is the same part or anything. But I look at this. This might be the best backpack they've released so far. We'll get to that, to a closer look at that. So anyway, I was saying I didn't buy the Paratrooper because I've decided that the generic standard military characters are not for me. Part of it is that they're not characters, which is part of what I love about G.I. Joe. But another part of it is that they come with so much stuff that you kind of can't do anything with them. Like every time I would touch the sailor or the soldier, like parts would fall off. You can't, and for the most part, I pose my figures. I put them on the shelf, and then maybe a couple times a year, I pull them down, pose them when I'm cleaning or whatever. But plastic feels good on this guy. But I still want him to be able to, move and stuff without having three things fall off of him every time I look at him. So those I just decided those were not for me. So yeah, just like Wild Bill, Ripcord's portrait is kind of weird for Classified. Now, if all of Classified had looked like this, it wouldn't be a problem. But they don't all look like this. It's really the whites of his eyes that are just extremely stark compared to standard releases. And here is the difference. As you can see, Dusty has that digital inkjet printing and has like a finish on his skin that Ripcord and the other three figures in this set do not have. But the whites of his eyes are just, the paint just isn't as good. He looks like a rubber mask from Spirit in a weird way. And I mean, you could sort of say that about him. He's got that shine on him, but just his details look more human. This looks like somebody has a creepy human mask on. And that's not to say that, like I said, if all Classified figures looked like this, it wouldn't be a problem, but they don't. So this stands out and looks weird. But it is well executed. Actually, no, it's not. It looks like his eyes are printed a little off center. Maybe. Like they're a bit to your right if you're looking at this, like they're a bit too far to the right. But I can't even tell from looking at it dead on. It's just because we're super zoomed in right now. Otherwise, the figure looks great. The flight suit is awesome. Love all the painted zippers, all the details. Look at this. Like, tampos are great. Night Force logo. It's a very cool figure design-wise. I realize I'm staying in super close up, but it seems to be working pretty nicely for looking at all these details. So I'm going to leave it there for the moment. All of his joints are working nicely. The plastic of these figures. Oh, now that's interesting. Hang on, I'm going to take a closer look at that in a minute. Like I guess that's an altimeter on his wrist there. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out a little bit because what I've just noticed is there's a separation here. This wrist is joined into this forearm, whereas, so on a normal classified figure, your forearm is just one piece like this. But on Night Force Ripcord, there is a cut joint here that is permanently fixed in. It's not just plugged in, but there is a joint. It was joined there, and actually you can see the two different types of plastic because the elbows and this have more of a gloss than the sleeves do. For some reason, those sleeves, everything else, I don't know. Again, this is a naked eye thing. To the naked eye, the blacks all match just fine. It's once you get up close that you can tell there's a different gloss on some of these parts. But just looking at it, it's fine. His web gear fits nicely. The harness doesn't slide around too much, which is interesting considering all the parts that we have to work with here. Looks like it's sitting about right. Ab crunch is nice and clicky. So yeah, he looks good. Cool looking figure. I'm going to be happy to put him on the Night Force shelf. And I am well aware, and I've said this on Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast. Check it out if you have not. I am well aware that at some point, all of my Night Force stuff may get boxed up. Probably wouldn't sell it, but may get boxed up. Because repaints, I'm going to get to the point where I don't have room for that. All right, let's check out his accessories. Take another look at that backpack. First of all, with the great black painted in there, all these textures look really good. A parachute should be in here, but they did not include one with ripcord, which the original ripcord did not come with a parachute. So that assumption, you've got a big stress mark here, which is kind of awful to see this early. Look at those stress marks. That's not great. Yeah, somebody tell me in the comments, because I don't know it off the top of my head right now, and I want that engagement. Is this the same as something that comes with that generic paratrooper? I would imagine so. But, maybe we can get some kind of different parachute. Maybe the standard release ripcord will have a parachute. Who knows? But for right now, let's get this on our figure and see what it looks like. I appreciate that it has the peg and the straps. Well, I say that. Is that going to line up and plug in? Because it kind of looks like it might not. There we go. Okay. It doesn't super well. But it probably won't really matter once we get everything plugged in and hooked up. That belt piece. That works okay. There you go. Nice contoured backpack. So even though from the top, that peg is barely plugged into his back, like everything is nice and snug and tight and looks good. All right. And he can still stand up with that big bulky backpack on and those stress marks on the flap. Of course, we have got his oxygen mask. Very reminiscent of the original, with more detail, as it should have. And then the helmet, which, look at that. That's very cool. Got a little laser targeting system there. Nice gloss. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. That's awesome. I really like this. Now, let's see how well it fits. Very well. Ah, it's great. Nice and snug, fits perfectly. Looks cool. And that's, I shouldn't have to say, oh, well, I'm probably not going to display him without without his helmet on. So what his what his face looks like really doesn't matter. Like, I don't like saying things like that, but it is the truth. It's very unlikely I'm going to put him on the shelf without this cool setup here. Boy, that does not want to plug in. So you can see there's a little plug right there. And it does not want to stay. Are you too good for your home? Yeah, I mean, it won't plug into that at all. Anybody else having this problem? That side fits. Oh, look, there's like no plug there. Whoa. So is that a production error? Or what? And I would hate to, because that doesn't plug in at all. I would really hate to have to send back my whole frickin' Dragonfly just because ripcord was not executed properly. But I have this weird feeling that might be what happens. But yeah, I'm going to have to check that out on his mask because I think that's defective. Because, I mean, it doesn't attach at all right there. It won't plug in. There's no peg. Great. Well, that's going to be a pain. So there's... It would look great if the mask was working properly. I like it plugging into this belt pack here, and that's a solid connection. Looks good. And then he's also got some standard goggles. Probably ones that we've seen before, and I guess I should pop those on him to see if they fit. Yep, those work just fine. And we've got a hand blaster, older model that does not have a port for blast effects in the front. And I appreciate that this is just connected to his web gear and not yet another piece. And then a couple of very cool larger blasters. Big fan of this one. This is a nice, compact, cool looking unit. The green paint on it looks really good. And then a larger I really dig this one too. I believe we've seen this. Could be new. Maybe, I'm not positive. I kind of wish this had come with Alpine. Well, I might give it to Alpine, actually. And then this one, I believe we've seen before, but I'm not positive. I don't keep like a mental track of the different accessories. Like one, they have to have really reused one a lot for it to set off a red flag for me. So obviously these are going to fit just fine, because that's rarely an issue with the Joes. So there he is, Ripcord, who I may be contacting customer service to return because that complete lack of peg, because you can see what it should. Oh. This thing is refusing to zoom. There we go. You can see what it should look like, and it does not. I'm going to try one more time. Well, that didn't work. All right, so yeah, that side pegs in really nicely. This side just doesn't. So that's something to look into. But otherwise, well, I can't even say otherwise, because that, I got to say, the skin tones do bug me. This is a problem. The fact that I lost my ability to speak. The fact that all 4 figures from this set, you know what? It's also a little odd that his hair is part of his head sculpt, because at this point, no, I guess not. I was thinking maybe most of the figures had separate hair pieces, but they don't. Yeah, I mean, this is a problem. All 4 of these figures are kind of aberrations within the classified line that, just like when I was talking about the Super 7 Ultimates and the issues they had with their skin tones, and you can see these look like 2 different action figure lines, these heads. Really, really strange. And if I'm being honest, not acceptable. Oof, rough. All right, well, there you go. That is Night Force Ripcord, such as he is. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.